Good afternoon. This is Universal News Media. Today is March 14th, 2018. Today we will be viewing images from unedited photos obtained 2 days ago from the Federal Aviation weather cams scattered across Alaska and Canada. All videos are in time-lapse mode with each frame equal to 10 minutes. Our first video was viewed by the southeast-facing weather cam in Ugonic Bay, Alaska. The planets next to the Sun are difficult to see because they are nearly transparent from the atmospheric chemicals, but some contrast enhancement brings out better detail. Notice the black dot on the Sun indicating that it is in eclipse mode. This black dot is not a camera anomaly. It casts its own reflection upon the water. The black dot is in the center of the flashlight sun, also called a sun simulator, which is a very intense light source installed between the Earth and the Sun, much closer to the Earth. The planets involved in the many eclipses occurring daily, which we'll see in a minute, pass in front of our real sun, but behind the flashlight sun, so that it's not obvious an eclipse is occurring. We know that the flashlight sun is not the real sun, as evidenced from these images taken by the weather cam in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada. As the flashlight sun moves across the sky, it completely disappears behind a tiny object. Our real sun could never be hidden by a tiny object like this. There is either a large gaseous cloud or a planet in front of our real sun, but behind the flashlight sun. The flashlight sun appears to be having trouble in these images from the south-facing weather cam located in Nixit, Alaska. The black dot is no longer a dot, but more of a mess. Notice how the flashlight sun's glare reaches and stretches downward toward an object which has faded into transparency from the atmospheric chemicals. Another concealment function of the flashlight sun is to completely engulf a nearby celestial object in glare, rendering it non-viewable. The south-facing weather cam in Tuntulik, Alaska, is heading into an eclipse with a fast-rotating striped planet nearly hidden from view in the atmospheric chemical transparency. Some contrast enhancement brings out its stripes and its spinning motion. In North Slope, Alaska, the east-facing camera caught more than one sun rising. The same multiple objects were viewed from Tuluksak, Alaska's east-facing camera. In Tok, Alaska, the southwest-facing weather cam picked up this red rolling planet, nearly transparent from the atmospheric chemicals. Clouds rose up from the horizon and eventually hid the planet from view. The southeast-facing weather cam in Perryville, Alaska, viewed several different planets, nearly transparent from the atmospheric chemicals, but much more viewable with some contrast added to the images. These three planets are seen often, traveling together, and have been monitored for years on their approach toward Earth. Each month they are larger. The screens of text at the end of this video will give viewers a general idea of when these will arrive. Another eclipse is viewed by the east-facing weather cam in Nunapitchuk, Alaska, and again the planets are very transparent from the atmospheric chemicals, but some contrast was added to the images to bring them into view better, making it obvious that they certainly are there. These sun halos used to be a rare sighting, but now they are an everyday occurrence, and they're created by the prism installed in the flashlight sun to help further obscure celestial objects. Here is the prism at work, attempting to obscure this gigantic red planet between the sun and the horizon. The prism's glare magnetically follows and points to the planet as the flashlight sun moves westward in an attempt to render it non-viewable. The southeast-facing weather cam in Napakiak, Alaska, shows the sun just coming out of an eclipse with a small red planet. Notice the odd-shaped reflection of the eclipse concealment jet in the bottom left corner. It always lines itself up perfectly with the black dot in the flashlight sun and the eclipsing planet for optimum concealment. In Kenai, Alaska, this same group of 3 large planets is seen traveling together again and made nearly transparent from the atmospheric chemicals. Some contrast enhancement brings them into view much better. This image demonstrates the black beam emitted from the center of the flashlight sun as it prepares for another eclipse. It is communicating with the eclipse concealment jet, which awaits a signal. The reflection of the concealment jet can be seen in the bottom left corner of the screen as it prepares to align itself with the black dot and the eclipsing planet for optimum concealment. The sun has just come away from an eclipse with a very faint red planet near the center of this screen, and it is going into another eclipse with a planet not within this camera's field of view at this moment. The Kasagluck, Alaska weather cam caught this eclipse with a planet. At this angle, the black dot is not visible. However, notice the odd-shaped reflection of the concealment jet, which has aligned itself with the center of the flashlight sun and the eclipsing planet at the 7 o'clock position to the sun. The reason that 2 planets are visible is because the prism installed on the flashlight sun is causing a reflection. We know that the real planet is the one closest to the sun because of the tiny white dot on it. That tiny white dot is the actual concealment jet, which is causing the odd reflection in the bottom left corner of the screen. The tiny white dot follows the planet and sends signals to the flashlight sun to trigger various types of concealment features, such as prism glare, blurring, shadowing, transparency. Here is the same area in Alaska, but from a different angle. Notice the tiny white dot again on the red planet. There are actually 2 planets, but the closest and most visible is the red one in the foreground. Once again, the concealment jet, the tiny white dot, is following the planet in preparation for an eclipse. Once the sun moves onto the screen, the odd-shaped reflection of the concealment jet is visible in the bottom right corner of the screen. Once again, the prism creates a duplicate reflection of the planet, but the concealment jet is on the real one, aligning itself perfectly with the eclipsing planet and the center of the flashlight sun. Here is a contrast enhancement showing the 2 planets. The larger one is further away and more transparent. The southwest-facing camera in Homer, Alaska, caught the striped planet. It's very difficult to see until some contrast is added. In Galkana, Alaska, the southeast-facing weather cam caught the flashlight sun hiding an oblong-shaped object. After the sun is passed, the elongated object fades into a transparency in the atmospheric chemicals. The sun is currently in an eclipse, viewed by the south-facing weather cam in Fort Yukon. Look closely, and the faint trace of a large planet is visible next to the sun. Again, we see the flashlight sun emitting a black beam to the concealment equipment awaiting a signal. This was caught on the south-facing camera in Dead Horse, Alaska. Rainbow reflections from the flashlight sun's prism are shown in this image from Chignik Lagoon, Alaska. The prism glare is pointing directly at the planet that it is attempting to hide from view. Chemical clouds blow in and hide the planet. This same red planet is seen rolling across the sky from the west-facing weather cam in Chokyitzk, Alaska. The sun is preparing to go into an eclipse, viewed from the south-facing weather cam in Arctic Village, Alaska. Even though the faint trace outline shows the planet is very large, it is mostly hidden in the transparency created by the atmospheric chemicals. This is how these huge planets are hidden from sight. Another nearly transparent planet was caught by the south-facing weather cam in Akiok, Alaska. It is nearly invisible until some contrast is added to bring out its features. These planets are part of an approaching celestial system. Many people ask when this system will make its closest pass to our Earth. A general indication of time is provided in the following screens of text. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe.